Welcome, race fans, to the Sim World Racing Network's presentation of the Quick Finishers Racing League. This is the Bumper Beater 300, race number 2 of the round of 12 here in the playoffs for the Quick Finishers Racing League. I am your host, David Hillbilly Hara. In the booth with me this week is the one and the only Chad Snyder. Chad, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, buddy. How have you been?
I can't complain too much. No one will listen if I do, so I try not to do it a whole lot. Okay, we did get started here a little bit late, so I'm going to kind of just jump right on in here and bring up some point standings. Unfortunately, it's not going to, well, it's going to try to, as it pops up on your screen and messes everything else up. So yeah, now that I'm back at it, Eric Thornton is your points leader, followed by Kenneth Pack. Zoltan Nagy is third. Fourth is Curtis Sauber. Fifth is Ryan Steinhoff. Sixth is James Nelson. Seventh is Michael Kurgelak. Tommy Osborne is eighth. Ninth is Gregory Robinson. 10th is James Bowden. 11th is Michael Bover. And 12th is Michael Boone. Michael Boone is setting 23 points. He's at the bottom of the line there. So the bottom of the cut line. The cut line is at Gregory Robinson. So after next week's race, we're going to lose the bottom 4. Only 8 drivers are going to progress. Right now, Gregory Robinson is sitting in that 9th position, just a handful of points. So he has 3,033 points to Tommy Osborne, who's in 8th at 3,041. So the cut line is close. Just above Tommy Osborne's Michael Kurgelak at 3,042. So that line's pretty close there, Chad, for the cutoff here. Unfortunately, I don't have that graphic to show folks. But we'll try to keep you up to date as to what's going on here.
Yeah, and man, being on that side of the cut line for this one is tough, because this, as anybody who follows NASCAR on a regular basis knows, at Talladega that absolutely anything can happen at this racetrack, and these guys have to balance being aggressive with being smart tonight, because you can't just go out there and ride around. In my experience, that finds you trouble quicker than anything else, and so they got to go out here and try to get points and also take care of themselves so they can be around at the end. It's really a balancing act.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are continuing to have some kind of issue here with I may have to restart our SDK software as it is locking up. So we're going to bring that guy to a close there. I apologize, folks, what you're going to see on screen here, but got to do what we got to do here to get this thing running again. Let me kill some of these processes off, and we'll be right back with you in just a second. All right, folks, we are back here trackside at Talladega as qualifying is underway. It looks like they're only doing maybe a one-lap qualifier. Is that what happened here?
I'm still showing a 2-lap qualifying. They're actually still working on it here. I think there might be a couple guys who are electing not to take time, which sometimes happens here at Talladega.
Well, we're gonna get you. We'll get you guys at home the full rundown here in just a moment. Hopefully, we won't have any more trouble with our display, and I can pull up what we've got going on here at this 2.66 mile tri-oval shaped, D-oval shaped racetrack here. Fast times, close racing, and should really be a fun event tonight. We have 14 drivers in the field. Nathan Christensen's currently sitting on the pole. Curtis Sauber in second. Smokey Robinson is third with Ryan Steinhoff in fourth. Benny Campbell's in fifth with Zulu in sixth. Tyrone Yo is in seventh. James Nelson eighth. Michael Boone ninth. Kenneth Pack is in 10th with Michael Bover in 11th. 12th is Michael Kerjelak. 13th is James Nelson. Tommy Osborne is 14th. And we show James Bowden is going to, if he decides to take a time, well, he'll come in 15th. We're going to see David Hara on there. Unfortunately, the way they did the sessions tonight, it kind of got things all messed up, and I ended up getting into the session as a driver, not as a viewer. So
Hillbilly will be finishing last from the booth tonight.
Correct. I will be last from the booth.
All right, and it looks like qualifying has wrapped up here. So Nathan Christensen is officially your pole sitter for this evening. Kind of a reverse role for me here. Me calling the action with Nathan out there. I'm used to him calling the action while I'm in the race car. So this would be a nice little switch.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll find it's fun up here in the booth. I know you've been up with us a couple times and done some of the on-track stuff for us as well. So we'll have a little fun here tonight. Now, once we get through all the early bugs we had going on here, we should be good to go. Oh,
yeah. Once we get going, we'll be good to go here.
Looks like we're going to end up having 16 cars as Dustin Matney was able to get in the event just in time, it appears.
Like everybody is just getting gridded up now.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead, since we've already went through the running order, we're going to jump. Well, no, I guess we're going to have to miss the anthem today because I don't want to miss the start of the race, unfortunately. We're not going to be able to get that in just due to the technical difficulties we've had early on. But that's okay, folks. We're going to bring you every lap of this race here tonight.
Yeah, we're patriotic. You get it.
Yeah.
All right. Here. Right. And we're starting to roll here.
Your pole sitter was Nathan Christensen out of Canada. Out of somewhere Canada.
Up there where the maple trees grow. Or something like that.
He's all filled up on syrup and ready to go.
Oh, and other Canadian stereotypes that we like to poke fun at our buddy Nathan with.
Yeah, we tend to throw in the maple syrup thing, which he does too. So,
yeah, it's all fun and games.
Till he punches
we
us
get
in
going.
The face.
All right, we get going here. It looks like our stages for this evening going to be end of stage 1 will be at the conclusion of lap 36. Stage 2 at the conclusion of lap 72, and the end of the race will be at the conclusion of lap 113. They have 5 sets of tires and 1 fast repair on the evening here.
Curtis Sauber was sure to let me know that in all of our chaos, he was friendly enough to give me a reminder that at the end of stage 2, we need to pull him into the booth to do our ride along with Curtis Dale. So I'll have to rely on you to do that for us, Chab. It's something Dave usually takes care of, but I'll put that one on you.
That explains the message I got from Curtis just now, so that I can happily do that. So that is the restart for stage 2.
At the end of stage 2, so it starts the final stage of the race.
Okay, sounds good to me.
As the pace car is off, was bringing up some track information, but it looks like we're about to get this thing going now. Keep in mind, the start-finish line here at Talladega is not where it is like at Daytona. This is on past the Tri-Oval. Exiting the Tri-Oval is where you're going to find that start-finish line. As the cars come through the Tri-Oval into the Geico restart zone, Flagman throws the green flag, and we are off.
A lot of nervous tension in these race cars right now. That first initial start here at Talladega, wondering what's going to happen here. But everybody falls in line. A very clean start. I'm going to run 2 by 2 for a good bit here, while everybody gets their nerves worked out.
2 by 2 as they come off of 2. Nathan Christensen and Curtis Auburn side by side as they head down the backstretch.
Looks like Christensen getting a good push from Robinson in the 3 down the inside. Curtis Auburn's help is not quite up to his bumper there, the 74 Steinhoff. Still looks like Nathan's not able to shake him.
Curtis Auburn going to lead the first lap, possibly. I don't know. I forget that start-finish line is. I just mentioned it.
Ooh.
Curtis Auburn drops down to the low line in front of the 33 of Christensen.
That was a bold move for the first lap of the race by Curtis Auburn right there. He was clear by inches, but he made it work.
This is a game of inches, folks. Ryan Steinhoff getting a great push by the 98 Azul.
I know one thing that's making some of these guys nervous is I'm seeing, looks like Tyler Nelson in the 85's having a little bit of connection issues. He's blinking in and out a little bit, which in a draft really, really makes you nervous.
Trying to see if we have any data here on a fuel run. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it's somewhere around. Can they make it 36 laps? I think it's somewhere around the 32 laps or something here, isn't it?
I think they can. If I remember correctly back to our race, they can, but they have to save pretty hard to do it. So that's one thing that we have to see if it comes into play, if they're going to save some fuel and try to make it the entire way on the stage, or if they're just going to pit and top off.
Zulu in that pink and black number 98 Toyota. Currently your leader in that outside line, followed by Kenneth Pack on the outside line.
It's a good day to have a pink or a purple car, and the 2 cars run side by side up front are pink and purple.
Yeah, now as the help is with the 74, the 85 of Tyler Nelson, giving him a little push there in the corner.
It looks like Tyler got his connection issue sorted out. I haven't seen him blinking anymore, and he's giving Steinhoff a really, really good push, trying to push him to the lead here. As I say that, he starts blinking again. I'm just not going to mention it anymore.
There you go.
We see up top, I was going to say sleeper pick, but I don't know if you could really call him a sleeper. Old Podium Pack in that 16 pushing the 98 up top.
I mean, I think he's won the last, he won last week.
Yeah.
So, and then just a few weeks before that, he won at Bristol.
He drops down in front of Steinhoff to try to take the lead from Zulu, and he's going to. New leader, 16.
Oh, 85 checks
like
out
Tyler
of line.
Nelson has a problem.
He may be getting out of line due to that connection issue.
He could be, yeah. Which is a very, very gentlemanly thing to do when you're having connection issues like that. To drop back until they sort themselves out, especially at a place like Talladega, where track position moves so frequently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely another guy to keep your eye on. I know from racing him is that 19 of Michael Kerjelek. He's very, very good at this style of racing, and he's up there pushing the 98, and he'll be part of this before it's over.
Yeah, Kerjelek's been coming into his own in about every style of racing we have within the NASCAR circuits. Really picked up the pace here this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoy racing with Kurds. He's very, very dedicated to making himself better, and it's really, really been showing on the racetrack. I know on our side, he hasn't gotten that elusive win in that series yet, but I do believe he has won a race over here, has he not?
I believe he has.
Yeah. Excuse me. Everybody kind of playing nice here. Looks like the 16's got out to kind of a big lead, maybe too big there. But I'm sure Curtis is going to show him some grace here and just give him a shove back to him.
Yeah, that allowed that outside lane to really get clear, about 4 cars clear. Now Kerjelak drops down to the inside line in front of the 16. The 5 of Michael Boone.
Going to shoehorn it down in there. Oh, goodness. This is where it really pays off to know the guys that you race with. They're sneaking up into the picture now as that 75 of James Nelson, along with the 12 of Dustin Matney there.
Just taking a quick look here. Yeah, Michael Kerjelak doesn't have any wins on the season yet. I'm not sure about previous seasons, but no wins on the season this year.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, no night like tonight.
Absolutely. It's never too late to get started at it. Especially right in the middle of the playoffs. A good time to do it.
For sure, for sure.
And we're by no means picking favorites up here in the booth, folks. If you've listened before, we don't do that, but I'm sure Kerjelak would enjoy picking up his first victory of the season here at Talladega, as would many other drivers.
I got favorites. I want them all to win.
I'm my favorite whenever I'm driving, but
yeah, I have a similar sentiment to that, but I'm up here with you tonight. So, but I was just gonna say, it seemed, if I remember from the race that you and I competed in, is that the top side was really kind of dominant when guys would get in line and stay there. And I'm just not seeing that so far. So I'm wondering if that's going to develop later, if it's just the line's not getting tight enough up top. But the top line doesn't seem to have the pace that it had the last time we raced here.
Yeah, I mean, we're still just 8 laps in. I see the outside lane starting to form up there a little bit. It really takes you have to get really close and stay connected. Maybe not connected, but at least really close to one another in order for it. Now they've got a bunch of people in that outside line. I'm looking for it to start rolling forward. Split up a little bit.
Yeah, they got broke up there at the front. Steinhoff went really high. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's back down in front of Matney.
Yeah, and the 54.
Now they got a good little line formed up. If they can stay in single file line, the way the bottom line looks right now, they're going to get a huge run.
Yeah, I think Sauber really broke that up when he jumped up to the top line, but then almost immediately
he goes again.
Yeah, he's back up top again. 74 he stops the momentum of the top line. They back up and he dropped back down. Let's see if he drops down again in front of the 33. Not clear now. Is the 33?
That was kind of I had a bad angle on that. It looked like that might have been a little bit of a late move by the 54, which kind of bottled everybody up. But now, if there's anybody out here I trust at a drafting track, it's Curtis Sauber. He's very, very good at this discipline of racing, and he makes bold moves for sure now as he gets hung out in the middle of the pack. But don't worry, he will be back. He knows how to get his way through the pack at these plate tracks.
Well, if he gets linked up with that 75, these guys work very, very well together at restrictor plate racing.
Absolutely.
Or plate style tracks. And Absolutely. The 75 goes to his inside. That's not going to happen. Not today. As the 54 is backing up. The 48 gives him a good shot in the center. That's going to propel the 54 forward again. Side drafting off the 75 just a bit. Your leader continues to be Michael Kerjelak, followed by the 5 of Michael Boone and Kenneth Pack in third. Outside line starting to make some headway now. Well, they were until they broke into a 4-wide battle. Now 3 wide.
These guys are racing hard right now. Might be a little bit early for this on lap 10, but nonetheless, it's good action up front. Got a good little line in the middle. It's going up through there. It looks almost like Steinhoff doesn't look real comfortable getting pushed by the 54 Sauber, but that's not stopping Sauber from trying to shove him to the front.
But this outside lane with Zulu pushing the 12 of Matney, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Making some headway now. Is they're going to be battling.
It looks like they've got Benny Campbell in tow there.
Benny Campbell, he's the first to tell you he doesn't like this style racing, and he says he's no good at it, but always finishes at the front. So I'm not really sure about how, if we want to take him at his word on that one. But this high line's starting to move. 3 wide for the lead. 3 wide, 3 rows deep.
Only a Talladega, man. Three wide, 3 cars deep. You got about a 4 or 5 car pack riding right behind these guys. I think just kind Kind of trying to see what's going to happen here. It looks like James Nelson's going to get up in the mix. What a run by James Nelson here. He decides he's going to try to push that center line. He's pushing the 48 of Michael Bovair.
We ride along with James Nelson in that center lane. Got cars on both sides trying to push Bovair on up through the center.
I don't know if it's going to work. It's a lot of cars. They're not real tight, but there's a lot of cars at the bottom. Oh, he cuts to the bottom there. What a move by James Nelson to get in line there. Good move. Fortunately, leaves Michael Bovair out in the cold, but he's going to tuck right up in behind Benny Campbell and try to tow on to the end of this line here.
Looking ahead at Michael Kurgelak. Got that SWRN logo there on the back. Well, not the logo. He does have the SWRN writing there. It looks like a phoenix on the back of that car. Looking pretty good tonight. Outside lane is still led by Dustin Matney now, dropping back to about P6. The outside of the 5 of Michael Boone.
Yeah, right now I think it's just the numbers working against the outside line. The inside line's not super organized, but there's just more cars in it, and it's really, really tough to make up when you have a superior number of cars on the inside of you. But if Matney starts getting really aggressive and starts side drafting these guys, you may see him climb his way up, as it looks like here, going to the front right here.
Yeah, just a nice Friday evening drive here around the Talladega Superspeedway for the Bumper Beater 300. Haven't seen too much bumper beating going on yet, but we're still only 14 laps into a 113 lap race here, 300 miles at this 2.66 mile speedway.
Yeah, these guys are behaving themselves for the most part right now. Look for that business to pick up once we get later in the race, even later in the stages, as those stage points are oh so valuable right now in the playoffs.
So we ride on board here with Kenneth Pack, just trying to see if find folks in the field kind of running not quite full throttle, but not really seeing that yet, I don't think. Try to pop around and see if we see any saving going on.
Like our leader Ryan Steinhoff jumps at the top there. They get in front of Dustin Matney. Now we have Curtis Sovereign in the 54 leading the bottom. So far Steinhoff's able to stay in front of him, but it looks like the 54 is coming. And the 54 pulls ahead for the lead here with a big shove from the 19 of Michael Kurgelak and the 75 of James Nelson.
If you're watching at home, folks, the drivers with the green banner on the windshield and the green spoiler are in the playoffs. Now, I do see some cars out here that are in the playoffs. Curtis, for example, that's leading the race. He's also in the playoffs. Did not have his banner on this week. I don't know if there will be a points penalty or not for he and Michael Boone, who neither of which are running their banners. Not sure they do that over here. I know in the All-American Racing League, if you don't run your banner, you don't get scored points for the race. So I don't think that's the way they do it here, but we'll have to catch up with that for next week.
Yep, we'll have that storyline for you at the end of the race. Yeah, so there's a lot of playing nice going on right now.
So one thing I am noticing, speaking of the points, Eric Thornton is the point leader and is not in this event.
Yeah, I noticed. I was going to say something about that earlier. Eric Thornton not present here tonight, and with Kenneth Pack winning our last race, that means that Eric Thornton is not locked into the next round.
That's correct.
So that very well, depending on how Eric was set for points after the race at Kansas, he may have to win at the Roval next week.
It's very, very possible. So looking at...
The guys are just making their way by the lap car of Tyler Nelson.
Now, after
He's going to try to fall in line here.
After Kansas, he was 100 points to the good. After Kansas.
Well, that's more than a race, so he should be fine.
Yeah, he should be fine to be able to get through as long as he doesn't miss the Roval, I think.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would imagine that Eric is well versed enough in what's going on to know that he could possibly miss tonight. So I'm sure he's probably weighed out all the contingencies of not being here, and sure he's fine. It looks like this top line is really suffering here. I don't know if they're struggling to stay in line here, but since Steinhoff went to the top, they really formed up on the bottom and have pulled back through 2 or 3 cars out on them.
Yeah, and some cars just don't lead well, and what I mean by that is not that the driver themselves don't. It's just that for whatever reason they don't feel comfortable out front, or the pushes that they're getting they don't like too much. You really have to have someone behind you that you're comfortable with. As the 3 of Robinson's out of the race.
As we say that, Dustin Matney goes to the outside of Ryan Steinhoff to go around him, has help from Zulu, but Michael Bovair decides to stay with the 74. And I'm not sure if this is going to pay off for Dustin Matney or not, because it looks like they've actually lost a lot of ground.
Yeah, there's just not enough cars in that outside lane working together to make it happen. Oh, as Bovair gets a little bit loose there, and kind of runs Matney on up the track. And
you and I both know, Hillbilly, when you go to make a bold move like that, you've got to know that the guys behind you are with you, because if not, you're taking a huge gamble making a move like that.
Yeah, and it did not pay off as Matney drops to the back of the tail end. Well, I say the back. Tommy Osborne's actually lost the draft here, some 40 seconds behind at the moment. I'm not sure what happened.
I actually see him. He's just ahead of the pack, actually. He's about a full turn ahead of the pack right now, it looks like. So they will be swallowing him up momentarily, most likely.
Yeah, with the stage ending in 16 laps. Now, if he's the only car 1 lap down, he'll be all right, because he'll get that lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. However, it's not a position you want to be in early on in the race for sure.
No, not at all. But like you said, the only thing that I would be concerned about if I were him were the issues that Tyler Nelson had and how many laps down Tyler Nelson is right now, which I believe he is multiple down. Let me just double check. Yeah, he is multiple laps down. So, yeah. So he should be fine. It looks like also, I think we missed something happened to Smokey Robinson. He is also 5 laps down at the moment.
Yeah, we're getting a message from Gregory Robinson in the chat here as we see the 1 go down a lap. Smokey Robinson lost power, unfortunately.
Oh, no. That's awful. Smokey's really, really good at this type of racing as well. I was looking forward to seeing him out here doing some things, and that's really unfortunate for Gregory Robinson.
As we mentioned, the 1 of Tommy Osborne goes down a lap, and it's still very, very slow. Not sure what's going on with the 1 car.
Yeah, it looked like he just kind of took his time getting back down behind the pack once they got around him. I'm not sure if he just didn't do it quick enough or if he does have an issue with that car.
But now that he's lost the draft once again, these cars are just going to continue to pull away. Now, I don't think he'll go down a second lap here under the green flag. So he should.
We got pit stops. We got pit stops happening here.
Pit stops are happening. Ryan Steinhoff is in. Nathan Christensen is in. Oh, had somebody off into the grass there. Christensen. Tyrone Yo is in. Dustin Matney. Tommy Osborne is in. So Osborne's in. Okay, so maybe he was dropping on back just to get down pit road possibly, but coming down for green flag pit stops here, folks. Let's see what they do.
I would expect a splash of fuel. It looks like the 74 Steinhoff's taking tires.
So is the 33 of Christensen.
That's very interesting here. Not second guessing anybody's strategy. That's not what I would have done, but it doesn't look like it's going to hurt Steinhoff too bad. He's going to come out, and the 1 car is going to come out with this group, so hopefully he can catch a draft on him and be able to stay in this pack.
Yeah, as we see a bunch of other cars coming down pit road now. The whole field, front of the field is coming down. 75 got in really, really hard. Hopefully he did not get caught for speeding there, as he passed the leader, took the lead actually, under braking there coming to pit road.
Well, that's one thing. One thing I'll say that I've praised James Nelson for in the past. He is really, really good at getting on, into his box, out of his box, and off pit road. He's very, very good at it. Probably one of the best we have. So.
No hold for the 75, so he should be in good shape, as he's going to leave as the first car in, first car off.
Yeah, that is textbook James Nelson. I will say that. That's one thing I've learned from racing with him. That he does very, very well.
We're talking about James Nelson in the number 75 AutoServe Ford. AutoServe, check them out if you're in the Charlestown, West Virginia area. Go get your car serviced at AutoServe. Give your car some love, folks. Take it to AutoServe. Just get it checked out. Get it a little regular maintenance done, oil change. Get your spark plugs changed, whatever you need done. Get it done at AutoServe in the Charlestown, West Virginia area.
Watching this second group, so the second little group here being led by Tyrone Yo with Dustin Matney and Ryan Steinhoff in tow. They're at full song, and they're not too far behind the leaders. I just don't know if they're going to be able to catch them in time before they get up to speed.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, their group kind of fell apart because of the 4-tire stops on a few of the cars.
Yeah.
I mean, although Ryan Steinhoff is kept this pack, and he took 4 tires as well, it appears.
Yeah, it looks like Nathan Christensen fell way behind, and he's out here kind of pretty much by himself. I mean, it looks like about 20, 30 car lengths ahead of him is the one of Tommy Osborne. But I'm not sure what happened to Nathan there, because he was with the lead group when he left pit road. So we'll have to pay attention to see what happens with Nathan.
Yeah, maybe a little trouble getting up to speed there. Or something with Nathan. He had the slowest pit stop, but his pit lane time overall was pretty good. So that's what made it to where he got, like you said, got off pit road with everyone else. Just maybe didn't get through the gears as smoothly as he would have liked. Your leader is James Nelson, followed by Kenneth Pack, Michael Boone, Curtis Auburn, Michael Kerjelak, James Bowden, and Zulu, rounding out your top 7. But this front pack is just a pack of 5 cars, and then we're going to jump back to 6th place. Now, this is 3.9 seconds back to the second pack of James Bowden, Zulu, Benny Campbell. Now Tyrone Yo has caught this pack. So that pack with Tyrone Yo in it, they did catch the guys right in front of them.
They drove right up to him, and I tell you what, Tyrone Yo is no slouch on this type of racing either. In fact, he was going to be my pick to get the pole. He didn't ultimately end up getting it, but he did start up front.
Yeah, these guys are getting impatient with one another, though, and starting to race some here. And as we see the 12 and 2 side by side, that's only going to slow down this overall group.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I've been on both sides of that, being the guy pushing who feels like the guy in front of you is holding him up. But you got to also kind of keep your discipline and know that the best way to make up time is to actually just stay in line and just push with all you got.
Yeah, as they ultimately ended up falling back in line behind Tyrone Yo there. See the 27 get down below the yellow line there, hit the apron just a little bit. So we're coming down to the closing laps here of stage 1. Another 9 laps to go here in the stage. Let's check on the 1 of Tommy Osborne and the 33 and Nathan Christensen. Now, Tommy is 1 lap down, but wanting to be able to stay in that position. But the 48's going to go a lap down, I believe, before this. So, unfortunately, that's going to hurt Tommy Osborne. Michael Bovair, the pack's just a little ways there. He's heading into 3 now, and the 75 is the leader is now going into 3. So, not a whole lot of time there.
Yeah, Tommy Osborne's really just got to hope that they don't quite catch Michael Bovair by the end of the stage. But that's going to be a very tall order considering how fast they're coming up on him. Definitely got 2 distinct groups out here, one being led by the 75 of James Nelson, and looks like the other currently being led by the 53 of James Bowden.
So we ride along with James Nelson out of Harper's Ferry. He's one of them West Virginia boys.
West Virginia love.
Yep.
Got some love in the booth for West Virginia.
Yeah. I'm one of them West Virginia hillbillies myself.
I am not, but my father was. Or is. I guess I should say.
Well, that's a close enough connection. We'll
I say was because he's lived in Virginia for the last, I don't know, 40 years. So 40, 45 years. So, but he was born and raised West Virginia.
Kenneth Pack running in second position out of Greer, South Carolina. That number 16 Chevrolet. Always rocking Prisma Health on that machine. And always finishing well, like we say. He's had some really good races here the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, you can't ever count him out, as it looks like the lead pack is going to overtake Michael Bovair here in turn 3. So that is bad news for Tommy Osborne. Unless Tommy can somehow get up and pass the 48 of Bovair, it looks like he is not going to be in line for the lucky dog at the end of the stage.
You know, just looking over some stats here, Chad, and Kenneth Pack has 5 wins on the season so far. The only driver with more wins than him is Chris Essery, who is not in tonight's field. Didn't make the playoffs just due to the fact that he really didn't compete in enough races to be eligible for the playoffs. But
yeah, Chris joined a little bit late in the season, and we do have a participation guideline here in QFRL as well as in the AARL. And he just came in under the line, nothing personal, but I look for him to do big things next year when he runs the entire season and is eligible, because he has been very, very fast since he joined this league.
Well, I mean, he won 6 of 9 of his starts, so yeah, that's pretty impressive. So yeah, Michael Boone currently holding that 3rd position out of Midlothian, Texas.
And I'll tell you, and you know this as well as I do, life is good for this group right here, right now, because they have no pressure coming from anywhere. They are basically all buddies, and they're all just kind of riding in line and be like, okay, we're gonna ride this thing out, and we'll fight for it at the end of the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I mean, they're looking at 4 more laps to get there, and they're going to decide it between one of these 5 drivers, with Michael Kurgelak being the car at the very back. Unfortunately for Michael, he's really going to have to push someone else in order to take a shot at winning the stage. He's going to have to push someone else and maybe start a half a lap to a lap earlier.
Yeah, I mean, your percentage of being in the right position to win the stage kind of depends on where you are in this pack, right? If you're, in my opinion, if I had to pick where I wanted to be right now, I want to be where Michael Boone is, with a buddy of mine in Carr Sauber right behind me, because that gives me the opportunity to basically time my pushes and time my runs while I'm running these laps down to kind of figure out how much of a gap do I need to put between me and the car in front of me to build a run, and where can I pull up, and what's the tendency of the 2 cars ahead of me? What are they going to try to do to stop me? It's a lot. It looks like a lot of riding in line flat out here, guys, but there's a lot of thought, a lot of gaming going on while these laps are clicking off.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, and I was talking about the 19 being the guy in the back, but in reality, he has the lap car of Michael Bovair, but, well, now trying to pass him. But
he did, anyway.
I was thinking about behind him. I was like, I would be talking to him and like, hey, buddy, right here, stick to the back of my bumper. You're going to get your lap back, but I'm going to need you to push me here. But Michael Bovair electing to stay on the high side.
Yeah, and the difficult part of that too is, we all have team chats here, and usually if you get in a situation where you need help from a guy who's not on your team, air quotes, or in your team chat, it's hard to kind of get that message across without telling the entire field what you want them to do.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, and I saw it looked like Sauber and the 19 were kind of backing up a little bit to that 48, maybe looking like they're going to try to mount a run here.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like the 5 is wise to it, because he's backing up to him as well.
Starting to test the waters here, folks, among the top 5 lead lap cars, as we have 2 laps to go here in the stage to see what happens, who wins because it's important not only to gain the maximum bonus points you can by finishing highest in the top 10, but If you win the stage, you carry that stage point with you for the remaining rounds that you are eligible to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, those playoff points are invaluable. So many times we see things come down to a tie in points at the end of a round. I mean, going into a cutoff race in the ARL, you and I were in a tie.
Yep.
Just a few weeks back. So I mean, that 1 point can make a huge difference. But it looks like we're coming around to take the white flag for the stage.
And then Curtis Sauber looking at the outside of the 5. Michael Kurgelak goes with him. The 48's up high with him as well.
Oh, man, Curtis Sauber decides it's time to go. I think it might be a little bit early, but they're going to see what they can do here.
Last final lap of the stage. Here we go. I saw some bumper beating going on. Beating bumpers again. Ooh. This is why we're calling it the Bumper Beater 300, folks.
Absolutely. Curtis is pushing Curtis really hard now. I know it looks like he's getting Curtis out of shape, but
now to the inside.
That's what Curtis wants. Down to the inside.
Crossed him over. Oh, and the 19 stays with the 16 on the high side. Going to push the big block.
I don't know. It looks like the 19s might have a little something here.
They're side drafting. This is getting close, folks. 2 by 2.
54 getting back to the 75. He might be able to build a run from here, but I don't know.
New leader, Kenneth Beck.
And Kurgelak goes to the outside. Who's going to do it?
At the line.
Is he going to do it?
It's going to be Michael Kurgelak. Kurgelak with the stage win.
The guy we said couldn't do it.
Yeah, I said he had no help, and I was absolutely wrong. Well, I said he had to go a half a lap to a lap early, and that's exactly what he did. Yep. And it paid off for Michael Kurgelak getting the stage 1 win here. Congratulations to Michael. Kenneth Pack finishes 2nd. Curtis Sauber 3rd. James Nelson 4th. Michael Boone 5th. James Bowden comes in 6th position, up 10 spots. Ryan Steinhoff 7th. 8th is Zulu. 9th would be Dustin Matney with Tyrone Yo in 10th. And final scoring bonus point for the stage. This was stage 1 of the Bumper Beater 300. Here for the Quick Finishers Racing League, we are the SimWorld Racing Network, bringing to you every lap. Folks, let us know in the chat who you're rooting for here tonight. And no, Smokey Robinson, you can't be rooting for yourself, buddy. I'm sorry, you lost power. And we hate that.
We miss you in here, Smokey.
Yeah, that definitely sucks.
It shows. That right there shows how unpredictable this stuff can be, because if you guys recall a few laps ago, me saying I wanted to be where the 5 was in 3rd place, he finished 5th out of those 5 cars. So that shows you right there, like that was my experience telling me that's where I wanted to be. But the way everything played out, it actually worked out better for the 19 of Michael Kurgelak. So it's so hard to game plan for these races because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. As the leader catches the pace car, we're going to see who decides to come down for fresh tires, but I'm going to step away for just a moment here, Chad, and I'll be right back with you. Going to leave you with the leaders.
That sounds good. All right, we're going to take a look at the 19 of Michael Kurgelak here, as they are slowing up behind the pace car and approaching pit road. Pit road should be open this time. Here, I would think that everybody's going to come down and get at least fuel, if not tires too, since it's stopping under caution here, and everybody's going to need to stop and get fuel. These stages are very, very tight on making it on fuel. As you saw, everybody's make a pit stop in the first stage. It looks like everybody on the lead lap comes down. Let's see here. See everybody getting to their respective pit boxes. See the 54 of Curtis Sauber. Looks like everybody that I can see here is taking tires. Looks like everybody is taking 4 tires. See the 74 of Steinhoff getting off. Now the 27, the 19, the 54. We will set the lineup for you guys once everybody gets out here and gets settled out. Looks like it might be a problem for the 98 of Zulu, as he is just now leaving his pit box. Not sure if he got slid through or what happened there. We can recap that for you in just a moment. Right. Let's see here. And it does look like the 74 of Ryan Steinhoff did win the race off pit road there. I think maybe a few cars may have stayed out or are waiting for waiver rounds. Yeah, look. Looks like the one of Tommy Osborne is going to take a wave around to get back on the lead lap here.
Yeah, and, it could pay off for him. I don't know what his fuel situation looks like. But, as we saw some drivers just take fuel only, tires aren't really a big deal here. I mean, especially if you just took tires under that caution.
Yeah, and it looks like pretty much everybody took tires under this recent pit stop here, but I don't think the tire disadvantage is really a disadvantage here. I am, as you alluded to, I am worried about his fuel. He's got to kind of hope that there's a quick caution here, and everybody wants to come down and top off, and he can come down and top off as well. And then he would be, in the catbird seat as far as I'm concerned, back on the lead lap, back on equal fuel with everybody, even having a little more fuel than everybody.
Yeah, but, he's coming down now. He decided to go ahead and bring it on in.
Okay, all right. That, knowing Tommy, most likely is him just going to go ahead and top it off because he knows he can't make it. He doesn't want to end up in the way. But yeah, so unfortunate. I was kind of rooting for that to play out for him, but we'll have to see what happens here.
Yeah.
But after pit road, looks like the leader is going to be the 74 of Ryan Steinhoff, for the 27 of Benny Campbell in second. Yeah, your stage one winner, Michael Kerslake, came off pit road third.
Yeah, both of those guys, Ryan Steinhoff and Benny Campbell, both took either just maybe, I think they just took fuel only. Can't really tell if they took right sides. You have to go back and look, but I
can confirm the 74 took 4 tires. I watched him do it.
Okay, I'm only showing him with an 8.5 second pit stop.
Oh, it must have been 2 then. He was up on the jack.
Okay.
So it might just have been 2.
And the same thing for Benny Campbell. He was 8.1 seconds for his stop.
Actually, I believe as I'm looking at this, if memory serves, I think Benny Campbell may actually be the leader, and he just chose the outside lane because there was a car that took fuel only and got off way before everybody else.
Well, they do not do lane choice here, so it's definitely the 74 is the leader. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then forget everything I just said.
That's okay. I'm up here every week, so yep. I kind of get the rules.
I'm just winging it, guys.
You're doing a fine job, man. I appreciate you being here.
Oh, no problem.
Dave is smoozing with his new boss man, I think, out to dinner with the CEO of the company he's working for now. So hope you're enjoying your dinner, Dave.
Yeah, we need to talk to Dave about his priorities because
That's right.
obviously they are not in order since he is out schmoozing his new boss instead of being here, appeasing the viewers with his dazzling color commentary.
Dazzling.
And if I might have been in this race if Dave had been here, so thanks for that, Dave.
As the pace car is going to dip down off pit road this time by, 74 will be the control car inside the Geico restart zone as we get this thing started up one more time. Actually, several more times before it's over. But we're going to do it here again, start stage 2.
Right. We got 74 has the 19 of Kerjelek on the inside, and the 54 of Sovereign is pushing Benny Campbell on the outside. So
green flag is in the air. 74 gets a jump, which I'm not sure how much of that he wants to get.
Yeah, he got too good of a start. Honestly, he got way out there, but he did jump up in front of the top line, which actually is that's a pro move right there. So
27 looks to the low side.
Campbell's going to drop. Yep.
Yeah.
And now he does have his Exalted twin in the 54 there pushing him. So
yeah, really,
I like the move by Benny Campbell right there. It's kind of a desperation move rather than just stick behind him and lose some momentum, jump down in front of the middle inside line.
Wow, now they're one. Oh, thought they were going to be 3 wide there for a minute. My goodness.
Looks like a little bit of a arguing over real estate between the 54 and the 75 there. But it looks like they got it all sorted out.
Oh, as the 27 gets bunched up behind the 75 there. Managed to stay off of his left rear quarter or his left rear bumper. That would have not worked out well for the 75.
Yeah, folks, these guys look like it's real easy. They're running in line, but when the car in front of you in a line has a moment or gets loose, has to jump out of the gas, it really makes for an issue for the cars behind him. So it's really, really hard not to run the guy over in front of you. As you see, Steinhoff slices down in front of the 19 of Kerjelek to get to the inside line. I'm not sure how much Kurz is going to like that, but they stay in line for the time being.
So we see the speeds on second place James Nelson here riding behind your leader. It was upwards of 197 miles an hour down that backstretch just a second ago.
Yeah, you could really, really tell once you get off that turn, out the turn 2 really good, and you get to the back bumper of the leader, and you really, we got trouble. Dustin Matney around in the tri-oval.
Tried to save it.
It looks like Tyrone Yo's involved. And we stay green.
No caution because the car spun down below the yellow line and off the track surface. He's going to try to get that 12 right and going in the right direction again.
Matney is rolling very slowly at the bottom, but he is getting going here.
Go back and take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, it looks like Tyrone Yo got a little bit of damage on the left front.
Okay, so Michael Boone kind of got really loose and came down and caught the right front of the 12 with the rear of his car, and it sent Michael Boone down to the inside even further, trying to gather his car up, but it really got the 12 out of shape, and then the 12 got collected by the 2.
Very, very unfortunate for the 12 of Dustin Matney and the 2 of Tyrone Yo, as they now have what most people would consider cosmetic damage, but here aero is everything, especially when you get caught out of the draft like those 2 are right now, and not having any caution right at the beginning of the stage like this, it's just not a good position to be in. They've got to really hope for a caution.
Yeah, I mean, for Matney, he's I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to stay on the lead lap with this many laps left. Here we are on lap 44, and our caution flag doesn't fly again until lap, barring no caution for incident, it'd be lap 72.
Yeah, in this situation, when you're in a situation like them, and I have been, you don't like to hope for bad luck for other guys, but they are really hoping for a crash, honestly, for some sort of incident that can bring out a caution that will save their race.
Oh, when I'm behind the wheel, I'm like, wreck you, mother. I love you all, but I mean, I still need you to wreck.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to leak what our team chats sound like when one of us needs a caution and the rest of us don't.
Yeah, it can get colorful, to say the least. Your leader is still Curtis Sauburn. Got that 75 auto serve machine of James Nelson right on his back bumper, followed by the 27 of Benny Campbell. Then you have
looks like Ryan Steinhoff has settled in there at 4th with the 16 of Kenneth Pack pushing him in 5th, rounding out the top 5. Michael Boone and Michael Kurchalek, they're in 6th and 7th. And it also looks like the 33 of Nathan Christensen back up in the lead pack, with the 53 of James Bowden also up there. So good rebound so far for those 2, because they were in the second pack way behind at the end of stage 1.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, obviously they want to make sure that they don't lose the pack here again. This back side of this pack back in 9th, 8th, 9th, not real close together. Michael Bovair back on the lead lap, sitting in 10th. Zulu, quite a ways behind this in the secondary pack. He in the 48, and then you have the lap down car of Tommy Osborne in this 3-car pack a little further back. But if you're James Bowden and Nathan Christensen, you're really going to have to tighten it up on this group in front of you to make sure you don't lose that draft again. And
yeah, and I don't know if Nathan's just being conservative. It looks like he's really not trying to get up to the 19 of Michael Kurchalek to get real close to push. And it looks like Bowden is right up on him. So I think as long as the 53 can stay up to him, the 33 is not really in danger. The guy I don't want to be in this situation is the 53, because if you have a moment, you have to jump out of the gas because something happens in front of you, you can very easily lose that draft.
Yeah, and the problem with being the 53, where the 33 is not really sucking up to the cars in front of him, it tends to make you want to say, well, if you're not going to go, I'm going to pass you. And then that only compounds the issue, and the both of you will lose the draft.
Yeah, it puts you in the unenviable position of not controlling your own fate, right?
Yep.
Because all you can really do is follow the 33 at this point in time, because you can't make the pass by yourself.
And we're getting word that that commentator David Lafano may be in around the 9-ish area, 9 o'clock area here Eastern. It may jump in the booth with us here, Chad.
Nice. I'll keep the seat warm for him until then.
Oh no, you keep the seat. He's gonna have to sit on the stool.
Okay, we'll put him in timeout.
He'll probably be in the recliner sleeping after eating that good dinner with the boss man.
Yeah. Depends on how much booze the boss man bought.
It could be, folks. The second half of this race could be a very, very entertaining broadcast. If you haven't been entertained enough by our troubles earlier. Out front's Curtis Sauber, followed by James Nelson, Benny Campbell, Ryan Steinhoff, and Kenneth Pack. Nothing's really changing out front. Everybody kind of just logging some laps, getting some laps under the belt here in the Bumper Beater 300. I say that as the 75 looks to maybe get a little air on his nose there. I thought he was stepping out of line, but he wasn't. This is the quick finish. Yeah, go ahead. He might have
been pulling out to breathe it just a little bit, but my curiosity now is turning to when are these guys going to come for fuel? Because you don't necessarily have to run it out of fuel to come and pit. You can split the stage, you can come early, as it looks like these guys are going to overtake the 12 of Dustin Matney after that unfortunate incident a few laps back.
Yeah, they're currently 12 laps into this run, Chad. And we were seeing their first pit stops around, 28 maybe? 28, 29, I think they came in. Started coming in, but I think there was some early pitting going on there as well, so you didn't have to take as much fuel. So that... Yeah, I don't know why you would early pit, but...
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the only reason that I would try to convince my group to come early is pure laziness on my part, so I don't have to figure out how much fuel to put in it.
And,
basically,
the 75 looks to the outside of the 54. 27.
And he has no help.
Can he get
There's no help at all.
No help. That's going to put the 70.
See if anybody's going to jump up and help him here, but it looks like he is going to drop like a stone all the way to the back of this group here. He's holding on better than I would expect.
Yeah, side drafting, trying to hold on the best he can. Maybe try to squeeze in line.
I think he's going to try to slice in behind the 16 here. There he does. Nice job.
Yeah.
I think that was a attaboy from the 5 of Michael Boone there. I think he kind of checked up and gave him a gap.
Yeah.
So, some co-opetition going on out here today.
Right. And I think that for the 75 to try to jump to the outside, I think maybe he was just testing the waters, and I think he learned right there 27's not going to go with him.
Yeah, that's definitely something to put in the memory bank for the rest as he jumps up in front of the 19 of Kurdzalak. Now I know Kurds will push him, as looks like 33 of Nathan Christensen's going to also go with them. Make a little Ford train up top here. The Fords run really well at these type of racetracks, so...
Yeah, outside lines starting to work good together.
As you see, Curtis Sauber was tempted to jump up there in front of him, thinks better of it, as now the 75 pulls beside him. And big steam up top from the 19, pushing that 75 up front.
Yeah, absolutely. The Kurdzalak was giving him one hell of a push all the way to the front.
The point I was making before that action broke out there was that I'm always worried I'm going to not put enough fuel in it by just doing a splash and go at the end of the stage. So if I only burn a little bit out and then just fill it up, then I don't have to figure it out.
Hey, Chad, I think it might have been your idea that we did that here in the race for the All-American Racing League. And unfortunately for us, the caution came out before the stage break.
Yeah, and I maintain that it would have worked if we see James Nelson drop down to the bottom now.
Yeah, we would have.
That's a big gap. But it looks like the 16 is going to drop down to push his buddy here.
Yep, Michael Kurdzalak taking the lead there, followed by Nathan Christensen. Kurdzalak drops low. Christensen drops low.
Yep. So it looks like Kurdzalak leading that bottom line now, leaving Steinhoff to lead the top with Michael Boone pushing him. Also with the 53 of Bowden, which it looks like he's going to the bottom as well. Bowden, excuse me. I think I said his name wrong. James looks up top. He's going around the 33. Out in front of the Steinhoff here.
Bottom line kind of broke apart when he did that. Let's see if they can get tightened back up.
These guys, I think, are just having fun right now.
Yeah.
As they come up on the 2 of Tyrone Yo, that's going to mix things up here. Tyrone's pretty good at staying up and out of the way. So it looks like They're going to drop down and go around him here. It looks like the 74 Steinhoff got up behind him. I don't think he realized how damaged he was. And that really hurt Steinhoff.
Your leader is the 75 of James Nelson.
Now we're going to see how patient Michael Kerchalak wants to be behind the 75 of James Nelson. Kurz is a smart driver, but he's a hard charger, man. He likes to lead.
As he gets right to the back bumper, now pushing the 75.
He is shoving that 75 down that backstretch. As Curtis Sauber goes to the top line, right out in front of Ryan Steinhoff to try to get a good run up top to get back to the lead here. Got a few Chevys lined up top, trying to spoil this Ford party. I will say, as a Toyota driver, my brethren are shockingly absent in this race.
Yeah, there's one Toyota in the whole field tonight, and that is Zulu, running back in 11th position. Hard to find manufacturer help when you're the only one with that manufacturer in the field tonight.
For sure, for sure. Well, I have a tip. There may be an extra Toyota in the field next week.
Oh, yeah. Anything you want to announce?
Maybe so. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Next week, folks, next Friday night, we will be in Charlotte for the Roval. Right here for the Quick Finishers Racing League. It'll be the cutoff round, or cutoff race of this round, where 4 drivers will be eliminated from the chase. The bottom 4 in points will fall off after next week's race, so I'll be sure and tune in for that one. But we're not done here tonight, as we are just now over halfway in this race. No, yes, we are. My mathin' is right. Tommy Osborne able to get around Tyrone Yo, staying with the pack there, so that's going to put Tommy on the bubble for the lucky dog if he stays in that position to the end of laps. What did I say? It was 70 something.
Yeah, let me see here.
I said 70 something, 79 maybe. 72 it is.
Yeah, that's what you said. 72.
Yeah, I said 72.
Say, oh man, Ryan Steinhoff barely just slid down into line there, but these guys are very, very daring when it comes to making moves down into the line there. But when you're behind the wheel of these things, you got to make these moves quick.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing is by the time your spotter says clear, you better be moving by the time the R sound comes out.
Yeah, for sure. When they say clear, you got to do it right now. And just the more and more you drive these cars, the more situationally aware you become, and you learn where the corners are a little bit better. So, and it definitely helps to have your spotter parameters set where you want them and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I instructed my spotter to give me a little more room. As early in the season, I was finding that I was just, by the time I was reacting, I was coming across someone's nose. You know, he said clear, and by the time I moved, I wasn't clear anymore. So I
think one of those noses was mine once.
Yeah, so I've instructed my spotter to give me just a little bit more room, and it's been beneficial the last several times we've been on track.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you what, I'll got to give Ryan Steinhoff credit. He is committed to that outside line. If he goes to the bottom, he only sits there for a little bit of time and then tries to jump up, make something go up top. And I don't know if it's just not having the numbers up top, because we had a little bit bigger field in our race, but I definitely remember, at least when I would get out front in our race, I would stay to the outside because it just seemed to roll better.
Yeah,
it just doesn't seem to be happening tonight.
It did, and really, it is all about numbers. You've got to have enough cars with you. As we see some cars down there on the apron, believe they were just down for pit stops. That was Dustin Matney and Tyrone Yo, both been down for their stops.
Yeah, and it looks like, and barring somebody in the lead pack having another issue, I think Tommy Osborne's going to be in good shape here, because everybody else who is not on the lead lap is several laps down, except for him and Tyrone. So the battle's going to be between the two of them.
Yeah.
Unless somebody else in the lead pack here has a problem coming to pit road, which I got to imagine is going to be happening soon.
Yeah, and that's another important part there, Chad, is that, coming to pit road, you've got to get on and off pit road without any issues. You want to make sure that you're talking to the other guys and saying, hey, here's what I'm going to pick. Can we pit together? Whatever. You don't want to come down alone, and really you don't want to come down just two of you. You need to have at least 3 or more cars, even in a small field like this, hit pit road at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, like at any other racetrack, like in our race in Vegas this past week, the last thing I want to do is let everybody know when I'm going to pit. And when you come to a speedway racetrack like this one, or like Atlanta or Daytona, it's the exact opposite. I want absolutely everybody to know I'm coming to pit road. And I'm seeing a lot. Now, my chat is muted, but I'm seeing it light up a lot, so that may mean we're having pit stops here soon. As it looks like there's a lot of communication happening right now. So we'll have to see what's going on. Nobody comes to pit road that time through. So we see Benny Campbell, Mr. Lonely
Zulu's
up top.
down. Zulu's down. Michael Bovair, Tommy Osborne, all on pit road.
Right. It looks like Kenneth Pack was just keyed up in the pack. So is Benny Campbell. So I would look for the lead pack to be coming down. There's Mike Boone and James Bowden. Pretty sure we're going to see pit stops out of the lead group here. And getting on pit road at speed with a group like this is not easy, folks. It is very, very difficult to get everything you can coming to pit road, not give up any time, and also not run each other over. Let's see what they do here off turn 4.
Here they come. Leaders are coming, the whole pack. 75 still taking an aggressive, 19 really aggressive getting on.
Very aggressive. All right,
everybody,
any pit.
It looks like everybody got slowed down, I believe.
Yep, I didn't even see any lockups, so that's a really good, clean entry for everybody on pit road.
Now let's see if
I'll have to see if there are any penalties, but
they can get in and out of their boxes clean. That's something I struggle with, and I think it has more to do with the fact that you can drive through the other cars.
Yeah.
It always seems to cause me problems visually.
The 16 is going to win the race off pit road here.
Yeah.
With the 19 to 75, and then a whole mess. I did not see any cars go up, so it looks like nobody took tires here.
Yeah, 16 with a fastest pit stop of 7.48.
My goodness.
Yes, so very fast.
I'm wondering if that was just a really good job of him getting in and out of pit road.
No, so I can see
maybe he took less fuel than everybody else.
Well, I'm going to tell you, so he took less fuel because his pit time in this pit box was 7.48 to a 9.3 for Michael Kerjelak, but his pit lane time was a 33.97 to Kerjelak's 35.55. So he did really well down pit road, off pit road, and in and out of the box time. So his pit crew put probably a less amount of fuel than everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael Kerjelak coming back down. Michael Kerjelak coming back down to serve his penalty.
Oh, that is a killer.
Believe that'll be a stop and go. Likely, maybe. Could you check and see if he had any off track or anything exiting? Because that's usually.
I don't believe so.
And it could have been speeding on exit.
I believe he was speeding coming off. Yeah.
Yeah, because he had to do
a pass. Looks like he just had a pass through.
Yeah, because
that is just awful for him.
Yeah, I would say that's speeding on exit. Typically, if you speed on entry, they hold you for 40 seconds in your box.
Correct. Yes.
So, Kenneth Pack is your leader with James Nelson in second. Ryan Steinhoff is third. Now he's looking for second. He's got help on the outside by the 54 of Sauber, who's in fourth.
Yeah,
James Bowden is fifth.
Nice little 3-car group up top there.
And then it's another two. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Let's say it's 2.3 seconds behind this group of 5 to Nathan Christensen and Michael Boone. And then there's a 5-second separation back to Benny Campbell, who's, for some reason, under that pit stop, he had a very slow time down pit lane and also was slower in the box than anyone else. So really hurt him there all by himself. Now Zulu running all by himself. Bovair all by himself. These guys should talk to each other, maybe try to get together. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the 27 of Benny Campbell, if maybe he might have gotten into pit road a little hot and had to slow down to give the time back to prevent getting a penalty, and then maybe took a little bit more fuel than everybody else. But like you were saying, man, communication is key with all these guys. If you're coming in as a group, you want to leave as a group. It's beneficial to everybody in the group. So this is a place where you'll share information that you might not share anywhere else. Like how much fuel are you taking? What lap are you coming down? You know, and just make sure that everybody's on the same page so everybody can enter and leave at the same time.
But see, so that's the kicker, right? If you have guys chime in and say, hey, taking, 6.7 gallons or 6.8 gallons, then maybe you take 5.5 if you can think you can make it on that. And that's how you become the 16 and jump out front on the cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something you can definitely do. But you got to be careful that you don't hamstring yourself and end up taking a lot less than they do, ended up too far ahead of them, or Lord forbid you take not enough fuel to get you to the end of the stage and you end up in an even worse situation.
Yep.
And it's really, really hard, at least for me, to do that math in my head, converting laps to gallons, trying to figure out how much is the least amount of fuel I can take at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very difficult to do. Some people even have like a calculator that a calculator program where they can kind of punch it in while they're in the car. I don't know. Some drivers have crew chiefs. I know when Essery runs, he has, I believe, his brother does his crew chiefing for him and his spotting for him. So
that
all
brings
decisions.
me to an excellent point. That brings me to an excellent point I was just going to make, is that's one part of this that is actually a little bit harder than the guys who do this for real on Sundays, is that all they have to worry about is driving the car.
Yep.
We have to drive the car. We have to worry about what's going on around us. We do not have a human spotter under normal circumstances, and we also don't have a crew chief who's doing our strategy and our pit adjustments for us. We're doing all of that.
Correct.
So it can be very, very taxing to, and I stream all the races. You can literally watch me after a pit stop on a stage, figuring out how many laps that we're gonna have to go to the next stage, when we go green, when I want to stop for fuel, things like that. Normally you don't have to worry about because you have a crew chief doing all that for you.
That's right. He has his left hand on the steering wheel and his right hand is over there typing away on the calculator, getting that stuff figured out. And it's absolutely it's tough to do unless you have that extra person that can hop in there and do it for you. But the way they set up iRacing, it's kind of brilliant from a business standpoint, because let's say you had somebody you lived with that you wanted to do that for you, and they don't even race, you'd have to pay for another subscription service, buy all the same tracks and cars in order for that person to be able to do that for you. So that's pretty good business.
Oh yeah, iRacing now, there's a lot of uproar sometimes in certain groups by certain people about the amount of money that iRacing costs, with the buying tracks and buying cars and paying for the service. But the fact of the matter is, at least in my opinion, is that we get way more than we pay for. Because this is an extremely competitive sim. They are constantly updating it to keep it as cutting edge and up to date as possible. Are there things that we don't like about it? Of course, but there are things that they at least try to minimize and try to fix as soon as they become prevalent. But to me, it's worth the money and then some.
Yeah, absolutely. As we have a battle now, Tommy Osborne and Tyrone Yo. Yo is currently in the lucky dog position. Tommy Osborne is on the outside line. Had some help from the 98. Now the 98's fallen off. 2 laps to go here. The one needs to get around the 2 if he wants to get the lucky dog here.
Yep, and he is racing aggressively. He is side drafting the 12 of Dustin Matney to try to pull him back off the 2 of Tyrone Yo. This is the battle for the dog here.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive here.
Now, if I'm Tommy Osborne, I'm yelling at Zulu right now to tuck up behind me and push with everything you got, because we really need that help.
Goes high to get
jumps
some
up behind
draft.
Benny Campbell.
Benny Campbell is he? No, he's on the lead lap. So
yeah, it looks like Benny's still having some issues. I don't know if he just has to catch up with as he drops in behind the line here. But It looks like Tommy Osborne is side by side with Tyrone Yo.
Yeah, folks, out front, Curtis Auburn is still your leader with Kenneth Pack. That's going to get a busy. It's going to get busy out front here in a minute, but right here is a battle.
And the 1 and 2 got so close right there.
I hate to have to jump back up front. Still in line up front. Let me go back to this battle.
These guys are fighting with everything they've got here for this bubble battle. This will make or break their race. Trying to get back on the lead lap here. Once you're on the lead, if you're on the lead lap at Talladega at the end of the race, anything can happen. It looks like right now, Tyrone Yo still has the advantage, but now
coming to the end of the lap
with a really big run.
Out front, they're staying single file. We're going to keep an eye on this Tommy Osborne battle. At the line, it's going to be... it's the one. Caution should be flying, I believe, here.
Well, leader got one more lap.
Oh, it's the end of 72 here. Okay, I thought
yes, end of 72.
That's right. They were a lap down. So the battle...
Tyrone Yo with a big advantage right here. I don't know if Tommy can get back to him. They're going to try, though.
I wonder if Tommy thought that was the end of it. As the winner of the stage... I don't think
he let out that much. I think he just... now Zulu. This is bad for Tommy Osborne.
Curtis Auburn is your stage winner. Tyrone Yo is going to be the lucky dog recipient if he can get around here. He's got it. Tyrone Yo.
Man, what a heartbreaker there for Tommy Osborne, man. They were racing their guts out, and he just... all of his help kind of dipped out on him there on that last lap. It looks like he got out of shape on the backstretch, and they just had to bail out.
So Curtis Auburn is your stage winner, followed by Kenneth Pack, James Bowden, James Nelson, Ryan Steinhoff. Michael Boone was in 6th, Nathan Christensen 7th, 8th was Michael Bovair. Zulu finished 9th. And Benny Campbell rounds out your top 10 of stage point bonuses into stage 2. So after this pit stop, be sure and grab Curtis Auburn, who's the stage winner. And we'll get him in here for a couple laps with Curtis Dale. But let him finish his pit stops here first.
Yes, sir.
And we'll remember to get him in here. But yeah, that was pretty dramatic finish for that lucky dog position between the 2 and the 1. I thought it was over, but I was looking at lap count, folks, and the leaders hadn't made it to the line yet, so it didn't matter. I was watching the lap cars who weren't on that lap.
Yeah, it's that was a heck of a race there for that lucky dog position, and that shows you guys just what I mean. I know a lot of people who aren't familiar with the sport wouldn't expect guys running that far back to be battling that hard, but it gets you back on the lead lap, and like you said, I can tell you from experience, just this season, earlier in a race at Daytona, like that if you're on the lead lap at the end, anything can happen. I restarted 12th in a green-white checkered and won the race. And it's absolutely anything can happen on the last lap. So if you can get yourself on the lead lap, you have a chance to win this race.
So I believe the leaders are going to come down pit road this time. I'm thinking 4 tires for everybody. Unless you took tires. Yeah, this is going to be a longer stage, so I'm expecting 4 tires for everyone right here.
Yeah, there's no real reason not to, right? You might gain 1 or 2 spots, but what's that really gaining you here at Talladega? Like you got a long stage here. There's a lot of time to make up positions here or there,
and you're pitting under caution.
Exactly. So you're not really going to lose a whole lot. I don't think doing fuel only would hurt you. I just don't feel like it would be worth the gain.
Agreed. As we see right sides, left sides going up, fuel getting filled up, drivers pulling off pit road now.
Looks like the 54 is going to win the race off pit road.
Followed by the 16 and the 53 of Bowden. Ryan Steinhoff 4th and James Nelson 5th.
All right, we're going to let them catch up to the pace car. Then we're going to grab Curtis and pull him in here and have a word. He is having a very good night here. Been competitive and up front all night, as you expect him to be on these speedway races.
Lengthy stop for Nathan Christensen. Still on pit road.
All right, these guys are caught up. So we're going to grab Curtis in here. If I can get him. Let me see here. For some reason, it is not letting me grab Curtis. Let me see.
Grab him? Oh, you might not have the admin privileges to do so?
I do not.
Curtis Auburn.
Hey, how are you?
David Chad in the booth, man. buddy. You just won a stage.
I know. I can't believe it. It's that Chevy power, like you like to say.
That's right. Absolutely, man. So the racing out there has been calm at times, but then been some getting after it at other points, especially towards the end of the stage. How's the car going running for you out there, bud?
Pretty good. Like you guys said, we were 3-4 wide at lap 10. I was a little worried there, but everybody calmed down there. But that last stage, I thought people were going to go around me, but they stayed in line, so I liked it.
Yeah, man. Well,
yeah, Curtis. You've looked good tonight, man. As everybody has expected, you running at a speedway race. Have you just been able to pick and choose your partners really well? It looks like everybody out there is actually working together pretty well at this point.
Yeah, everybody's doing really well. I'm really impressed because, last year in the beginning of this season, there was only a couple that were pretty good at pushing and getting pushed, but it seems like now everybody can take it and give it at the same time. So this is getting harder.
Yeah, man. Listen, hey, I want to know how you convinced Benny Campbell to go with you when the 75 tried to pass you there on the outside. It was like saw the 75 break to the outside on you, and the 27 tucked up under you, and you guys hung that 75 all the way to the back.
Well, 75 went because he said he was bored and didn't relay it to anybody. So Ben was kind of caught off guard, so he just stayed in line because he doesn't like play tracks.
All right, I have to take this moment to relay to the viewers, like, that is textbook James Nelson. Like, okay, I'm gonna do something just because I feel like it. So,
yeah, he wanted to make it interesting for you boys up there, so that's why he tried.
It's been fun to watch so far, man. How's the elbow doing?
Pretty good. I'm healing, so it's a little sore. I should have took my medicine before the race, but I'll take it after. So
I bet it's gonna be good to go for the Roval next week.
They're talking in my ear.
Oh, I thought he was ignoring the question, Chad.
I thought he was too.
No, I can't. I'm half deaf, and when they're talking, I can't hear y'all. So
he said,
gotcha.
Is that elbow good to go for the Roval next week's what he asked.
No, I'm trying to win this, so I don't have to worry about the Roval next week. That's what I told them. I said, I got to win this, boys, so hang on.
Well, listen, man, lights are out on the pace car. We're going to let you take us around a couple of laps here and let us get a feel for what you're doing here behind the wheel.
I save a little bit as I can because I think running out front, I'm going to burn a lot of fuel. Uh-oh. Almost looks like I'm glitching, too. That ain't good.
No, you're good on my screen.
Green flag. Try not to get out too far. I don't want to get freight trained here. Get up through the gears. What I like to do is just hug this yellow line. If not, you'll get shook down into the middle lane. Full throttle, pedal to the metal, and just go a lap around. I think everybody's going to take it easy for probably after this pit stop. Then that's when it's gonna pick up, boys.
Yeah,
I have a feeling.
Do you think the side drafting is going to pick up quite a bit as we get later in this race?
Oh yeah, I think that's where the yellows come out. If I was a betting man.
Well, the car looks good and stable here out front, buddy. Try to keep it out front, and we'll send you back to finish your race out. And good luck.
Absolutely. Hope I'm talking to y'all boys later.
All right,
See
man.
ya.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Yep.
Oh, that was Curtis Sauber. Did I put him back? Uh-oh.
You did not.
No, you didn't.
I didn't know where I dropped him. That's Curtis Sauber in the number 54 Exalta Chevrolet leading this race. Got to see the restart, go up through the gears there. Didn't see anybody come around either side of his fenders as we ride on board. So far, so good.
He made that one boring.
Yeah, he did.
All you see is the racetrack out front. So
now it hasn't always been that easy for Curtis after or during our interviews. Usually someone tries to hit him at least, but So far here in the
definitely
bumper
not.
beater 300, it was pretty easy. Good for him. I mean, we say he made it look easy. How about that?
Yeah, for sure. Like he alluded to it as well. Everybody's gonna kind of mind their P's and Q's and just do what they have to stay attached to the lead group right now. When you see it get after the pit stop they have to make in this final stage, like he said, is when I think you're going to start seeing, for lack of a better phrase, you're going to see business pick up.
No, I thought Tyrone Yo got back on the lead lap, but maybe he just got back one of his laps because they're still showing him one lap down.
That is interesting. When we were talking to Curtis, I did notice that he was out in front of the group. I'm not sure if maybe he got an incident point or something under caution and didn't get it, but let me check and see. So that free pass did not go to Tommy Osborne, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
Yeah, as the 75 got shuffled out of line just now.
Ooh, man, that was hairy.
Oof, really, really hairy. I think he might have come off the bumper of the 33, maybe a bump that wasn't real comfortable there, as they're shuffling around up in the front too. So they're now 2 by 2 here. Top line starting to move. Being led by Michael Kerjelak. Jumps down to the bottom line.
All right. So for the viewers, you guys remember when we just told you everybody was taking it easy and going to be calm? So forget all that. They're definitely out here racing and having some fun here. As you see Michael Bovair take the lead.
New leader, Michael Bovair. He was a lap down earlier and is now leading this event here in the final stage.
Remember what I said? You guys all remember what I said about being on the lead lap, right? Michael Bovair was a lap down and running by himself earlier in this race, and now he's fighting for the lead.
Yep, I remember, Chad. You said as long as you can stay one lap down and get that lap back, it could be anybody's race at the end. As long as you're on the lead lap, you got a shot at it here.
So close there with the 5 of Michael Boone coming down to take the lead.
Yeah, no taking it easy. I think the 54 is like, man, I was wrong.
I think, honestly, if I'm the 54, then I'm doing just what he said everybody else was going to do right now. Right now, I just want to pace that 19 in front of me and just run. Just eat laps right now and just keep an eye out front to anything that might happen. So, something freak doesn't come out of nowhere and end my race after having such a good race like Curtis has.
Yeah, I saw Nathan Christensen get all out of shape there, coming on the front stretch. I thought he was coming to pit road, but it wasn't. He's just gathering the car back up. But he and the 98 now kind of lost the draft there. They're back here with Tommy Osborne trying to get bunched back up and try to make some speed. But out front, Michael Boone is your leader. James Nelson in second, Michael Bovair third, Michael Kerjelak fourth, and Curtis Osborne rounds out your top 5. Single foul now through the top 9 or 10 cars here.
It looked like Michael Bovair was thinking about taking a look here, and as he pops up top again.
No
I
help.
wouldn't keep doing that. Oh man, the 19 let him back in. I don't know how many times I would be doing something like that right now. This is just, and that's just my opinion, but it's too early to worry about that at this point.
Yeah, you're 10 laps into this run. It's so from 74 to 113 is about what, 50, almost 50 laps. So you've got 40 laps left to go here. We know they're going to have to pit at least halfway.
39 laps.
39 laps left. Okay, so you
39 laps are the last stage.
Oh, is that always in? Okay, my mathing sucks.
I only have practice from doing all that.
Yeah.
Michael, looks like Michael Kerjelak almost got turned straight into the outside wall.
Able to hold on to it, but gonna lose.
He was
some
able to hang
positions.
on to it, and what a recovery by Michael Kerjelek.
And he's got help up top, so
Yeah. Boy, that was scary there. It looked like he had just looked outside, and I think the 48 of Beauvais came up to try to jump up in front of him and just wasn't quite clear. And that was a very scary moment for Michael Kerjelek. It looks like Tyrone Yo is going a second lap down here.
let's see if we can catch what happened to Kerjelek here. Yeah, this may not be it.
It was right at the.
Oh, I see.
Shoot.
Yeah, so he got a little run on the 48, and he went to his outside, and then the 48 got a little out of shape and almost hit his front. I think some net code pushed him up the hill.
Yeah, a scary moment indeed for the 19 of Kerjelek, but he was able to hang on to it.
And is running back up through the field. He's back up now, passing Curtis Sauber for fourth.
Like I said, man, Kurtz, he's a hard charger. He goes to the top lane here up in front of Curtis. Looks like James was thinking about jumping up in front of him. James Nelson thought better of it. He's going to stay down and push Boone. I'll say these guys running a very smart yet a very aggressive race. Just like I said in the opening pace laps, these guys have to really balance aggression with just running a smart race here, and they've been so far able to do both.
So do you split this? Do you split this stage and come down, say lap 94, or do you try to run this thing all the way out and take less fuel at the end and just try to run out the fuel? Shorter pit stop time.
I think honestly, with it, I would want to just with the way things go at Talladega, mostly, I would probably try to run it out and maybe take a little bit more fuel than I need, because you and I both know there's going to be overtimes.
Yeah, there typically is in these type of races. We haven't seen the caution, I guess, for incident, have we? No.
No, we have not. We've seen there was one incident on the front stretch, but they were able to get going before the caution flew. So we have only had 2 cautions tonight, both 4 stage breaks. I don't expect us to reach the conclusion and still be able to say that as Michael Kerjelek leads that lap.
It usually comes down to the last 5 laps. It's go time. Everybody's pushing, beating, banging. You start having people push the pusher at that time. The bumper beaters come out, and if you're not hitting the guy in front of you, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, you see the bumper beaters start happening. Guys start really aggressively side drafting each other. And when you're trying to side draft a guy who's also receiving a push, we had a little moment there on the backstretch with Kerjelek jumping down in front of the 5 of Boone. I don't think Boone was quite ready for it as Boone goes to his outside.
I think
doesn't really have any help, but Curtis Sauburn's coming to his aid here.
I think Sauburn thought he was clear too, and was either that or was really side drafting and almost got into the 5.
Yeah, proving my point as I was making it, actually, is that when you're trying to side draft a guy who is also receiving a push, when you get a push the wrong way, these cars get very squirrely. So you can end up causing a big mess if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that they get squirrely. You know, the rear end kind of gets moving around on them, but you can handle it. You can take a hard hit in these cars, but not if someone is taking that air off your right side by side drafting. That just amplifies the movement of the rear end of the car.
Yep, and you can give somebody a big shove from the back, but you have to make sure that you're hitting them square, because if you don't, it'll just send them. Every
time. If you're on the right side of the bumper or the left side of the bumper, even though you're still hitting it in the back, that just upsets the weight, shifts the weight of the car, and breaks these tires free. As the 5 has still got the lead, 54 pushing him out there.
Yeah, big push from the 54 to get the 5 out way out front. Looks like tandem drafting out here.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to start
That was a big smoke move by the 54 right there.
We'll see the 54 back off of him here. Just get some air on that nose a little bit. These cars will overheat.
Get some air, and he also wants to get the 19 and the 75 up behind him there if they're going to stick with him. Looks like they are.
Big run by the 19. Oh.
Ooh.
That would have been hard to want to keep that one in line, to be honest, because he had one heck of a run on the 54.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when you're working with teammates here, you want to do what's best for the group and everything like that. But sometimes things happen where you just have to be selfish in that moment, and just there are times when you've got to either take the run or wreck the car in front of you when, things happen out of your control. So
yeah, I mean, Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon both said that, right? It's teammate thing's great until you've got to run, because you got to pretty much take what the track and the car is giving you in the moment. And if you try to worry about your teammates, you're going to end up screwing yourself in the long run.
And also, and just like everything, people are different.
Yep.
Drivers are different, and everybody runs these types of races different ways. Like there are some of us who don't work as well with some of the other of us, that we work better with some and not others. Not because we don't like the person, it's because our styles don't match up the same.
Right.
And that happens in real life as well. Like you just mentioned Dale Jr., how much he said he did not like drafting with Jeff Gordon. Tony Stewart, you say he hated drafting with Bobby Labonte, but Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. loved drafting with each other.
Yep.
Because their styles were very similar.
Yep. And they were very successful at doing that with one another as well.
Very much. Looks like things have settled just for the moment here.
Yeah, as we take a look back, your first car one lap down is going to be Tommy Osborne at the moment, but that's only if a caution flag comes out, folks. Will he get that lap back? So he's kind of wanting that late race caution to put himself back in contention for a possible, top 5 or victory here tonight.
Well, I can tell you, anybody who's not up in the lead pack right now is praying for a caution because they're not going to catch this lead pack, and they just don't have enough cars. So the only way that they're going to get back into the fight for the win on this thing is to have a caution for incident and get everybody bunched back up and try their hand.
Yeah, the 4-car pack of the one of Tommy Osborne, Zulu, Nathan Christensen, and Tyrone Yo. Now, Tyrone Yo, I believe, is a couple of laps down here, but they, again, like you say, without the caution flag, they're out to lunch. They're on their own planet back here, pretty much.
Yeah, just without the caution, they're just kind of fighting amongst themselves right now, which is just fine. I mean, you got to go back, you got to get what you can get. But if they want to be in the mix for the win, everybody from Tommy Osborne up is definitely hoping for a caution up to this lead pack.
Well, with 20 laps to go here in the Bumper Beater 300 for the Quick Finishers Racing League, race number 2 of the round of 12, I don't think that we're going to make it caution-free. I'm with you on this one, Chad. I believe that this is going to get really, really aggressive here as these laps start to wind down, and we're going to see some moves you otherwise wouldn't make here.
I do believe that Curtis called it. It's going to be after the pit stop. After the pit stop, you're going to see guys racing their heads off. So, so I haven't not seen anybody key up in the chat for a few laps here. So I'm assuming that they haven't been game planning the pit stop just yet. But we'll have to see what happens. Looks like Mike Bovair got pushed up top. He's going to go to the end of this line here.
Yeah, and they're just midway of this run here. So we're halfway. So they pitted on lap 74, and so we are around 20 laps into this run. So 19 laps to go. They could probably run another 8 or 10 laps before we start seeing caution flag or start seeing green flag stops. And then at that point, if you're going to do that, you're going to have like 8, 9 laps to go. You're going to splash and go this or take just enough fuel to get those 9 laps done. Maybe, I think they get, 12 gallons here? 60%?
Something like that, yeah. And just saying, going late like that, late pit stops are a gamble, man, because if you have any kind of issue, you are out of time.
Yep.
And looks like I just saw Michael Boone key up. Looks like, and I'm seeing in the chat, they're coming to pit road this time.
Okay, so some drivers are splitting the stage pretty much.
I'm seeing, it looks like Kurgelek, Pack, Bovair, Boone. I would expect the entire lead group to hit pit road here.
And here they come.
Looks like Matney's going to stay on the racetrack because he's laps down, but that's fine.
75 really getting in aggressive again. takes over the lead, hitting onto pit road, or well.
And this is the pit stop where you need that to happen. This is the pit stop where you got to do that. You got to have no mistakes. You got to be aggressive on, aggressive off, because if it gets you the lead here, that puts you in a really good position for this last run.
Let's see what Michael Boone decides to do. Oh, he slides through his box.
Oh, killer.
No tires. I don't see any tires going on. The 75, who's first in his box,
74
is
slid through as well. Looks like the 54 is going to win the race off.
Zulu is, okay, wait. Why did I see Zulu? Okay, Zulu's the leader. He's still on track. Nathan Christensen is still on track. 54 first off of pit road, followed by Benny Campbell. Then James Nelson, Kenneth Pack, and Michael Kerjlak.
All right, so I know I was wrong in the first stage, but I'm going to say I like where James Nelson is here. Third place is a sweet spot at the end of this race. And we know from racing with him and from watching him here, James Nelson is not afraid to make those moves.
As we see, Zulu, your leader, is in. Nathan Christensen is in. The one of Tommy Osborne is in. Tyrone Yo is in. Dustin Matney is on pit road.
Oh, and they are mixing it up in the top 5 group here. Is James Nelson, Kenneth Pack, and Michael Kerjlak have jumped to the outside. Curtis Sovereign jumps up to get in front of them, leaving Benny Campbell on the bottom by himself. And
big push by the 75.
True to what Curtis was saying, I think the gloves are off now. I don't think anybody's playing nice anymore.
Yeah, but the packs are getting so much smaller, though. I mean, the green flag stop split this top 9 cars, up.
So what's different now about being, say, the 75 right now to being the 53 earlier, being the last car on the draft, is that 75 has house money to make a run here. And actually, the smaller group is better for him, because if he goes up there and he doesn't make it, then the 16 and the 19 don't really have the momentum to overtake him. So he can jump right back down that hole if he can't clear the 54. So we'll have to see what James decides to do here. Personally, I would run some laps out before I tried to make a move.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not out there, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, and if I'm the 16 and the 19, I'm practicing right now, backing it up and getting runs on these front 2 guys. But the front 2 are just locked together, bumper to bumper. Now the 75, pushing on the right side of the bumper just a little bit, but still,
and James,
he's going to blow this thing up.
That 54. Yeah, that 75 is pushing the 54 with everything he has. But what he's trying to do, I believe, and this is a strategy that I've used before, but I don't think it works as well in this car, is he's trying to shove the leader as far out as he can get it. So when he tries to make his move, it's just the 2 of them. But I don't believe he can get away from the 16 and the 19, at least not in this car.
Well, but what you can do here, Chad, is you can practice that push for the late in the run, and then you push the 54 out, and then you back off of him to back up to the 16, and then let the 16 and the 19 push you. And that gives you a heck of a run to get around that 54, who's now like a parachute pushed out behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you can push that leader out to a big gap and then pull out from behind him, and you leave that big gap behind him, you can ride that momentum from that run that you created, just as he is losing all of his momentum from behind, and you can actually clear him by yourself. It's an old drafter's trick. And like I said, it worked a lot better in the Gen 6 car, and it works really well in the Xfinity car. It doesn't work as good here, but it is still possible.
Yeah, the bubble here is hard to burst. You need that third car to get you to the rear bumper of the car in front of you. Once you're to that bumper, you can hold on to it, but otherwise, you're just going to sit there and push the bubble of the car in front of you, and they're going to stay in front of you. You almost have to step out of line to let the air just hit their car in its entirety, and then dip down below last minute on the exit of a corner, and that'll give you a run to their bumper. Step out, and you can pass them on your own. But, yeah, it's very difficult to do at time. There's a lot of little tricks you can use. As the 19's now pushing the 16, they are beating some bumpers here, folks, in 13 laps to go. We're going to find out who will be the winner of the race. It's going to get close. It's going to get crazy. Can they stay green? Will they stay green? Or will someone meet the fate of smashing the wall? I don't know. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
They have so far kept us on the edge of our seats all night, for sure.
So we see James Bowden and Michael Bovair battling for that 5th spot. They have Michael Boone in tow and Benny Campbell. Then it's another 10 seconds back to Nathan Christensen and Tyrone Yo, who's a lap down, Zulu. And then you've got the 12 of Dustin Matney, who's a couple laps down as well.
Yeah, it's so disappointing for Dustin Matney. He had a really good run going. He was keeping himself really clean and got to a situation that really wasn't of his making. Getting his car damaged and not getting the caution there at the end. So very disappointing for him. Hate to see that.
Yeah, I mean, when it's not nothing you did wrong necessarily. It just kind of gets you caught up in it. And then when the darn caution doesn't fly, that's so disappointing. Especially here at a super speedway where you go a lap down and then there's other folks trying to get the lucky dog as well. Just so tough to get a lap back, especially when there's really no wrecking here happening with a 16 car field.
Yeah, just with the low car count, and I mean we have 15 cars in tonight, so I mean that's not a bad car count, but like when they get spread out like this after pit stops, it's really a tall order to expect a caution, honestly. Now I'm not saying that I think we're still think we're gonna go green to the end. It only takes 2 cars to make a crash, and these guys are gonna start getting really aggressive here as looks like we're coming to 10 laps to go here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not counting out Kenneth Pack on getting his 6th win here, to be honest. He's sitting here in 3rd. He's got Michael Kerjelak behind him in a Ford, he's a really good pusher. I wouldn't count him out.
I don't think you can realistically count out anybody in this top lane here. Like, they're all 4 playoff cars. Ooh. They all are looking for a berth into the next round.
Something happened to James Bowden. The whole front of his car was trashed. He had to come in and use a quick repair.
Oh, goodness.
See if we can find what happened here on replay.
All right. I'll keep us appraised of the situation up front.
See if we can find Bowden. Oh, that was before. We're going to rewind this, folks. Apologize for this, but I want to see how he hit the wall there. Oh, yeah, that might be too far to rewind. Oh, wow. Okay. That's way back. Oh, he gets a push. There it is, folks. Hit that right side of the bumper. Right side of the rear of his bumper, and it just turned him nose first up into the wall. The bad bump by the 5 sends Bowden into the wall. It's going to be a tough finish for the 53 now. 9 laps to go in the race. Your leader is Curtis Auburn, followed by James Nelson, Kenneth Pack, Michael Kerjelak, and Michael Boone. Now Benny Campbell. They're battling side by side for that 5th position. Campbell to the outside, Boone to the inside. Go ahead.
Back to that situation with James Bowden. You can push off to the right and or off to the left. You just can't do it very far off to the right or left. And it looks like when Boone got him, he was so far to the right that it almost hooked him. And you saw it just turn him dead on right to the outside. And again, that's very disappointing for James Bowden there. He was having a really good run this evening.
And is now going a lap down to the leaders. Now, I don't know why iRacing did not throw a caution for that one. I mean, I know he hit it and deflected off of the wall, but I would have almost thought there would have been a caution for that. I think maybe his overall speed didn't drop low enough or something.
Yeah, I think because he kept rolling and was able to get safely away from everybody. Because I believe proximity to other cars is also taken into effect too with iRacing cautions. So it's definitely, and I mentioned this in our race the other night, iRacing has seemed to have gotten a lot stingier with cautions. And it just seems like if a incident happens and it doesn't involve a bunch of cars that are blocking the racetrack, then it seems to be tougher to get a caution out of iRacing nowadays.
Yeah, I remember that speech out of you at Vegas.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. It's just it's hard to plan for a caution anymore.
And I hated to bring that. No, I didn't hate to bring it up. I like just giving you a hard time too. But hey, you bounced back, got back on the lead lap. Did a
eventually.
Fine job.
Didn't get any stage points, but hey, we'll talk about that next week.
Yep. No, you did a fine job getting back, keeping your head in the game.
Yeah, with these races, it just you never know what's going to happen with them, so you just can't quit with them. You got to stay out there because you never know if something's going to happen that's going to wipe a lot of people out, and you can gain some points. So which we're fortunate enough to still be in a playoff position over in AARL. So every point matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just makes you wonder about these series that, in this series and in All American Racing League, we run one fast repair, as you saw with the 53s. You came down pit road and that fender just magically fixed itself. That's a quick repair. You get one of those per race in these series. But if you think about some of these leagues that don't run any, that's when it becomes beneficial. Early on in a race, you get an incident like that, you may have 30 minutes worth of damage. But if you just quit, go park it in the garage, you don't know if someone else is going to have an incident later on in the race, and you gain that one spot. And by the time playoffs roll around, that one spot could mean you making the playoffs or not making the playoffs.
Absolutely. And like we talked earlier about us being in a tie in one of the rounds a few weeks back in our playoffs over in AARL. And that comes right down to, one of us stuck it out in a race earlier in the year, and we got that point.
Yep.
And that put us in that situation where had we stuck it out and got one more position, we wouldn't have been in that tie because we would have had that point. Every single position and point matters. You can't just go looking for the big point swings because it's not always the big point swings that do it for you.
Yep. Chad, it came down to one race at Kansas where I had to tow, and I did not have my quick repair checked.
Oh, we got a caution.
What is the caution for? Michael Bovair has crashed. 4 laps to go.
I believe somebody said there was going to be overtimes.
Oh, my goodness. What happened to Michael Bovair? 27 is behind him here. 27. There you go. There's the left side of the bumper. And it just, when he hits the left side of that bumper and his car is moving down track and up track, that just spins the 48 in the middle of the track, and that's why we got the cautions, because he came to a dead stop there. No real damage to the car. That's the good thing for Bovair, but nonetheless, that's caution flag.
Yeah, great recovery by Michael Bovair there to keep it out of the wall. So go put some new shoes on that thing if you got any, and get right back to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and they do have
Talladega. If you're going to wreck at Talladega, that's how you want to do it.
Yep, and these guys didn't take tires on a couple different pit stops today, so I know everyone has a couple sets of tires, and I imagine everyone comes in for tires here. I don't know about fuel, but you definitely come in for tires. And the reason I'd say that is that gives you the ability to be way more aggressive. And
yeah, I would say that possibly, but I'll tell you, you want to know who the happiest man in Alabama is right now?
Ryan Steinhoff.
That would be James Bowden, who is the lucky dog.
Oh, yeah. Just went down a lap. Now he's going to be the lucky dog.
Yep.
Gets that back. And we see some cars on pit road. The leaders, the top 6 drivers are, let's see, Curtis Sauber, James Nelson, Kenneth Pack, Michael Kerjak, Michael Boone, and Nathan Christensen stay out on track. Benny Campbell, Zulu, Michael Bovair, and Ryan Steinhoff at the back of the field decide to come in.
And you know what? I like both of those calls, honestly. If you're up front right now, I wouldn't give up the track position to come down and get tires because they don't make up that big of a difference to get you back up there. But if you're at the back, why not? You have nothing to lose. Come down, get some new tires, and see if you can use that maneuverability to get yourself to the front.
Yeah.
So
especially if you're Benny Campbell, who just came out in 7th position with fresh tires.
Absolutely. And James Bowden is going to come down and get tires if he has any. And so is Michael Bovair also if he has any. And, it's going to be very, very exciting from here on out, guys. Like I can tell you, I've seen races where the person who was involved in the last wreck won the race. Like anything is possible. Like I said, if you are on the lead lap, you can win this race.
Now, so Tommy Osborne's coming down. Now, if I would have been Tommy, I believe I'd have took the wave around right here.
Yeah. Well,
he couldn't have.
He couldn't because the leaders didn't.
You're right. The leaders didn't pit. So
yeah,
he may as well go ahead and come in and get some shoes on it. This may not be the last caution flag, folks. We have 10 cars on the lead lap here.
I don't think it will be.
Actually, James Bowden he came in. No, he didn't.
It just isn't time for him to take his lap around yet.
Okay. Yeah, he came in at 103. This is 110, 111. All right. Actually, it's more than that, but coming down to the end of this thing, folks. Green, white checkers is what's going to be on order for us now. That means that we're going to start. You get the green flag, you'll come around, take the white flag, and then the next flag will be the checkers. So basically it's a 2-lap shootout is the way it ends up working out. But if there's a caution before they take the white flag, before you get back around to the white flag, then we'll rack them up and start this thing again. We'll do that, I believe, up to 3 times before they'll call this thing. If they don't make it back to the white flag, now if they make it, the leader makes it to the white flag, the race is over. Next flag ends the race.
Correct. So that definitely throws out the window. Normally these tracks, like on the last few laps, you want to kind of be the second or third place car so you can be the aggressor. Here, once you come around and get that white flag, you want to get to the lead as fast as possible because it can literally end any second at that point.
Now, if I'm Benny Campbell back here on these fresh tires in 7th, now, unfortunately, he's in 7th. It's not going to give him the option to use the outside of the track much, the outside lane to get something formed up quickly because he's going to be starting in that inside row. But you have, I look for the 74. Well, see, they're showing the 74 down on the inside as well of Zulu now.
Honestly, Hillbilly, even being down on the inside, this is a wide racetrack,
You're right.
and I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see these guys use every lane they've got.
I think you should keep your eye on that 74. I mean, that 98. I believe he is going to put that sucker up on the wall and hope that he can get the 48 to go with him.
I'm telling you, I'm watching that 75. 75 and the 19, I think, are a really good pair. They push really hard together. Also have another Ford behind them in the 33, Nathan Christensen. I don't know. If I'm a betting man, I give a slim edge to the 75 right now.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that's where the wreck's going to come from, is from the front 4 cars.
Well, anybody in the frame right now can win this race. That's what we keep saying. Yeah. Like, it could be anybody out there right now. James Bowden, who just got his lap back after being in a wreck with no caution, could end up winning this race.
Well, the pace car is out.
Coming off.
We're going to see right here.
All right, first attempt at green-white checkered right here.
So we see Barney up in the flag stand as they get ready to enter the Geico restart zone. Curtis Auburn firing it off. Here we go.
Good restart by Curtis Auburn. He didn't get too far out that time, so... Yeah, 75 right beside him.
He's got the 16 coming to his bumper. 54 and 16 on the inside. 75 and 19 on the outside. 19's locked onto the bumper of the 75. 16's locked to the bumper of the 54. See how these pushes work. 19 and 75 are closer. They're holding it together a little tighter, but that inside row's got more cars in it. They're pushing the pusher, folks. They're bumper beating here in the bumper beater 300.
And the lines are pretty equal right now.
54
it looks like the bottom has the edge for right now.
The top line kind of separated just a bit. 16 holding kind of tight on the 54. 5-car Michael Boone able to get right back up on the back bumper of that 16.
They come
door to door, side by side. This race is official. Oh no, the inside lane. Inside lane's getting all mixed up. James Nelson goes to the lead.
James Nelson is leading.
Inside lane is falling apart. James Nelson across the nose of the. He saves it, but
he saves it. Oh, now we have more. They're crashing behind him.
We're gonna have to watch what's happening here, folks. The 54 is now going around from second place. It's gonna come down.
Michael Kurgelak just won this race.
No, here comes Nathan Christensen. Got a big run.
It's still a.
Christensen with a big run now to the inside of the 19. 33 to the inside. They touch. They're door to door as they head through the corner through 4. Oh, the 16 catches to the back up, and the 33 goes up and hits the 16. They're wrecking. Michael Kurgelak's going hard into the outside. Whoa! Your winner.
Curtis Sovereign. Oh, here's Michael Boone.
Your winner in the number 19, Michael Kurgelak. What a mess. Curtis Sovereign going to come across in second. Ryan Steinhoff in third. Oh, my Lanta. What in the hell happened? I'm going to go back and take a look at this.
Wow.
We're going to go back to the finish. We got to go back to the James Nelson crash first. James Nelson.
I don't know how James
there's-
hung on to that thing.
He had the 5 to his inside, got into him there from the apron. We saw that one happen. Actually, just should have kept it there and switched drivers, I guess. As the 19 turns this, or 75 comes across the nose of the 19, not really sure how that happened. 27's down on the bottom. He gets to the back, the left rear of the 5. That puts the 5 down there, and he goes down below the 75, who's already wrecking from coming across the nose of the 19. The 1's in trouble. The 74 is into the 1. This is all part of the same wreck. They hit the 53. The 12 of Matt, and he's like, hey, all y'all wreck, and I'll win this thing. What in the heck? The 27 sideways. The 75 is sideways. That was all one wreck. Then we go up. I want to see what Curtis Sauber and the 33. Oh, we got to see what happened with Zulu, too. We got to back this part up. My goodness.
We've got a lot to unpack.
Oh, yes.
But can I just say?
Yes.
We said at the beginning how awesome it would be to see Michael Kerchalak grab a win after being so close so many times, and maybe in unorthodox fashion, but man, he went out there and did it.
I want to see the 16. Where is he at? 16. Okay, the 33 and the 19 are battling door to door. 16's behind him. 33 gets kind of on the door of the 19, and it just messes up the 33, and the 16 gets a wow. I am just lost here, folks. We're going to go back and check out. Let's see if we can talk to Ryan Steinhoff, our third place finisher. Let me see if I can grab Ryan. Unfortunately, Ryan is not in the chat any longer. We're going to move on and talk with second place finisher Curtis Sauber. Curtis, David Chad in the booth, man. You got us?
How you doing, boys?
What a heck of an end of a race, man.
Oh,
Yeah, you did.
You called it.
That was the wreck that never ended.
yeah.
I mean,
I know.
that wreck lasted the entire last lap. It seemed like.
Yeah. Not often you see one wreck last the entire lap at Talladega, so that was interesting to see.
Look, the 75 come across the nose of Michael Kerchalak, and once he did that, he wrecked for the next half a lap.
Did he?
He absolutely did. And that had the 5 in it. And I think you benefited well from that, sir, finishing in P2 tonight. We already asked you how your race was going. How did it end for you, man?
It was pretty good. When I saw James wrecking, I was like, ooh, I'm going to fight Kurds for this win. And then me and Kurds got together. Or not Kurds, but Nathan. I think he was just trying to side draft me, and we got hooked together and couldn't get off of each other. I thought my race was screwed at that point, but they wrecked in front of me coming to the line, so I benefited from that. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, P2 on the night. Congratulations on that. Chad, you got anything for him?
No, man, just just the type of race we come to expect from you at a speedway, man. Just running up front all night, on a stage, come home with P2. Good job, man. I know you probably wanted one spot better, but that's a hell of a race.
Yeah, I would have liked to at least lock myself for the next round, but especially going to the Roval next week. But I'll do my best next week, and we'll go on to it.
Sure you will, buddy.
All right, buddy. We're going to send you back to celebrate, but before we do, if there's anybody you want to shout out, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just want to say congrats to Kurds. I know he's been stressing all season to get that win, and he finally got one, so I'm proud about that. You know, if I couldn't win, I'm glad Kurds did. So shout out to him. Shout out to you boys. You did a wonderful job from what I could hear on my TV. As always, thanks, guys.
All right, man. We tried to hold it together for you. We'll hopefully be hollering at you next week.
Absolutely.
See you, bud.
Hey, bud.
All right, that was Curtis Sauber finishing in the second position. Let's see. Looks like Ryan Steinhoff jumped back in. Let's see if we can grab our third place driver, Ryan Steinhoff, get an interview with him real quick. Hey, Ryan, Dave and Chad in the booth. You got us, man?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, buddy, what an ending to a race here. It went green like the entire time except for the stage cautions, and then there at the end, exactly what we expected out of a super speedway race. How was your car throughout the night?
It was all right. I mean, on its own, out of the pack, the car is just horrible. Can't even get into fifth gear. But when you're in the pack, the car felt good, felt fine.
Yeah, was everybody being cordial for the most part, or was it? Did you feel the aggressiveness, or can you feel the aggressiveness picking up towards the end there?
I can definitely say I didn't make any friends that race. felt like every time I went to help someone out, I just got left. So it's more so seemed like it was, no matter what point it was in the race, it was me. But in the end, it worked out after having a massive kerfuffle in the pit lane. I needed that last caution.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, it is tough, especially coming into the league and getting to know everybody, getting to race around everybody, and when folks, I'll be honest with you, when folks are afraid to lose, they don't tend to help a whole lot.
Oh yeah, I know. It happens with speedway racing.
Yeah, man. It does.
So.
It does. And you'll talk your way through. But anyway, congratulations on a P3, Chad. You got anything for him?
No, I was just, congratulations on a P3 there, Ryan. I was just wondering, like, I actually saw it looked like you and the 54 of Curtis were actually working together a good bit. I know a lot of times it did seem like you got hung out in the top lane, but I mean, did you have any pre-established plans to work with anybody, or was it just kind of, I'll just push whoever's close to me?
No, I tried to push the Chevys when I could, but my first race with you guys was actually at Talladega earlier. My first Super Speedway race was with Talladega early in the season, and I completely threw that race away. So I didn't even get a chance to really work with anyone there. So just tried to pick and choose who I could work with. I know Dustin was out there. He was really helpful with me. He felt like the only one that was really willing to push. But maybe next season, make a friend or two.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
man. Well, listen, the floor is yours. Anybody you want to shout out, say hi to? You can take that opportunity to do so now if you like.
Yeah, no. Thank you guys for the broadcast as always, and the guys on putting on the league. I know I'm still learning everyone and still getting my footing here, but it's been an enjoyable time. I'm unfortunately going to miss the Roval next week, so I'm hoping that my got enough of a points cushion to help me get through there.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, listen, we'll have to see what you're doing on Tuesday nights next season as well. Maybe get you over to All-American Racing League as well, but we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, congratulations on a P3 here tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
See you, bud.
Yeah, but
That was Ryan Steinoff. Did you see me trying to recruit there?
Yeah, I did.
The number 74 Chevrolet getting P3 here tonight. All right, let's go ahead and talk with,
I'm looking
I
forward
guess,
to this one.
our first-time winner here in the Quick Finishers Racing League. We have Michael Kurgelak. Michael, you got us, bud?
Yes, sir, I do.
You haven't been having that celebratory drink already, have you? Your Kool-Aid?
Oh, yeah, you bet I have.
Right on, man. Hey, listen, got your first win this season. Now, is this your first win in the Quick Finishers Racing League, or just this season?
Just this season.
Okay, I thought you had won before, just wasn't sure. But congratulations on your first victory. Hey, man, you picked a good time to do it because you, sir, get to go to the Roval next week and just put a whooping on them. You don't have to really worry about it any.
That you said that is, I totally forgot about that, so that's even better.
You punched your ticket to the next round of the playoffs, sir. You will be in the round of 8 without a doubt. As long as you start the Roval, at least.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
I know you will. You're pretty quick there, man. But, wow. It looked pretty interesting there. The last lap was just crazy as could be. You know, we talked about it. You started pretty far back, made it 11 positions to finish in P1 here tonight. That last lap was wild. You know, we saw you kind of get out to a lead as the 75 kind of wrecks himself across your nose. It appeared from up here. And then, you know, you're kind of out there on your own as guys are wrecking behind you. And then the 33 was able to run you down, drives it in hard to get to your inside. Ultimately, he couldn't really hold it down there once he got it there, and you were side drafting pretty hard. You guys make a little contact, which really upset his car when you guys disconnected. And then he wipes out another car trying to get a hold of his. Wow, what an ending, man. What were your thoughts on the whole thing, man? Did you think it was going to get that aggressive?
Oh, yeah, I knew it was going to get aggressive, but I didn't think it was going to get aggressive until farther down the trial. Well, I was surprised how early it got. But, yeah, I feel bad for James, what happened there. And then Nathan, he had that good run, and I thought I could block it. But if I blocked it, I knew I was going to go in the grass. But I hate that I got him upset, but at the same time, I'm thankful for the win.
Yeah, man. Well, it looked like you were just holding your car steady is all, and he was just trying everything he could to get around you. But, yeah, man, great win, and Chad?
Courage, what a job, man. I know you've been knocking at the door hard for that win, so congratulations on that. But I will say at the beginning of the broadcast, and Hillbilly can back me up here. We had said we were kind of giving our shouts out. I said keep an eye on the 19. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he got his first win tonight. You proved me right. Threw a bunch of bedlam at the end, but you did prove me right, and I was happy to see that, man. But you and James seem to work really well together. I know it was a little bit of an unfortunate incident there on that last lap, but that's what happens at Talladega. So. Did you guys have plans beforehand to work together, or was just like, okay, love the one you're with, kind of?
Actually, no. Me and James practiced during practice, and to where we were testing on drafting together, and I want to see how far I could push the car till it blew up, and it didn't blow up till 309, so I knew I could get some push in there. And once we knew on that yellow flag that I was behind him, we said, all right, we practiced early. Let's try it.
Oof. 309.
That's good information to have, though. That's definitely good preparedness on y'all's part, and that most likely.
Like James said, though, that was early, and I was in practice, not late in the race.
Yeah, I've had him blow it 301, 298. So yeah, that's 309s pushing the limits there, man. That's awesome, though. You guys got to at least test that and see what was going to happen.
Yeah, I feel bad for him going off my front, but. Man, it was a good race tonight.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, man, we're going to send you back to celebrate your first victory of the season here and making it to the round of 8. But before we do, we just want to give you the floor, man. Anybody you want to thank or shout out or do whatever you want to do, bud.
Just want to say thank you to you and Chad, and a good race to the QFRL gang, and let's go on to the road.
Yeah, absolutely, man, and it was a good race. Again, caution-free for the most part, right down to the last 4 laps before the first caution for incident came out. And congratulations again on your victory. We'll send you back, and hopefully we're talking to you next weekend.
Thanks, sir.
See you, bud. Yeah. All right, that was Michael Kerjelak in the number 19 Ford getting his victory, first victory of the season. Man, what a race. What an ending to the race. I don't know, Chad. What do you think, bud? I don't know what we could say that we haven't already said as we talk so much, but that was impressive. That was fun.
That was a ton of fun. That's one of the reasons that I jumped at the chance to get in the booth tonight, because it was Talladega. A lot to say up here, a lot of information that we get to pass along to you guys who are kind enough to tune in and watch us here at Some World Racing Network. It was a heck of a race, but it's a very typical Talladega race. Everybody kind of takes their time, plays it smart, and when they get to the end, the gloves come off, and things happen. And this race did not disappoint at all. And I'm pretty sure everybody wishes they could have had that one more inch. Everybody's happy except for that 19 and Michael Kerjelak.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's your full field rundown for today. Michael Kerjelak is your winner, with Curtis Sauber finishing second, Ryan Steinhoff third, Michael Boone finishes in the 4th position with Michael Bover in 5th. Benny Campbell finishes 6th with Kenneth Pack in 7th. 8th was Tommy Osborne. Zulu finishes in the 9th position. Nathan Christensen, who was going for the lead there on the final lap, ends up finishing in the 10th position. James Nelson, also going for the lead on the final lap, finishes in 11th. James Bowden finishes 12th. Tyrone Yo 13th. Dustin Matney 14th. 15th and out because of a power outage. Hope your power's back on, Smokey. Gregory Robinson. Tyler Nelson, his day ended early, I believe, due to some connectivity issues, or he was blinking in and out there. And Dave Harrell, I didn't even start the race. I just happened to log into the session because of some craziness. But anyway, this was fun, Chad. I had a good time, man. I'm glad you joined me up here in the booth. It's not that often that I get to have you up here, at least for a full session like this. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and one last thing, if I may, the mantra you kept hearing me repeat all night about be on the lead lap. If you're on the lead lap, you get a good finish no matter what's going on. Tommy Osborne, who was fighting for the lucky dog, what felt like this entire race, back, running between 12th and 15th the entire race, comes home with the top 10 in 8th place because he was on the lead lap when all the bedlam went down in the last lap, was able to gain some positions there. That's why you don't ever park and go, it's fine, I can't do anything anyway. So good on Tommy to get a good result after having a challenging race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, folks, we appreciate you watching. If you could, just smash that thumbs up button for us. It's the best thing you can do for free, and it really helps a small channel like this. Subscribe to the channel. We have racing, I believe, Sunday. We've got a race Sunday in the trucks. Trucks are back on, folks. We will have the trucks back on Sunday at Homestead, I believe. Is that right?
Yep. And
Yep.
That'll be at Homestead. Yours truly must win.
Oh.
So the next 2 races, I am in a must-win situation if I want to make it to the championship 4. So make sure you guys tune in for that.
That will be race 2 of the round of 8. And that'll be at Miami. So you have Miami and Martinsville to get through to the round of 4 to battle for a championship in Phoenix. But that will be Miami this Sunday night. Now, if you tune in on Tuesday, Nathan Christensen will be in the booth here to call the Homestead Miami race for the All-American Racing League Cup Series as we head off to Miami to try to get some things going. You're running for a championship there as well, Chad. So good luck on that. I'm going to try to beat you anyway, even though I'm not in the running. I'm going to try to win that race. Harder and harder to do in that series, but
I wouldn't want it any other way, buddy.
Absolutely. Well, listen, guys, we appreciate you watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. You won't miss any of that good racing action right here next week, next Friday, for some left and right turns at the Roval. I just wonder if we're going to have a different, which we haven't really talked about yet, but are we going to have a different track? Will iRacing have a newly scanned track next week?
I'm leaning towards no, because I think that update would have been out because the officials are running there this week. So
they're already running this week. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, so I doubt that's gonna be. I know that's something that I had brought up earlier, but I don't think that's happening until later.
So we will be running the old configuration next week here with the Quick Finishers Racing League, but nonetheless, be sure and tune in for it right here on the SimWorld Racing Network. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time. For Dave and Chad up here in the booth, we're out of here. We'll see ya.
There you go.